Hi, I'm Bart. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be making a set of wooden wheel cribs so that we can lift the C10 up while we work on its transmission. Here's the 1984-85 GMC Sierra Classic, or High Sierra, that has been sitting here for probably about 2.5 years now, since the transmission lost reverse on its way back from its MOT test. Now, I've got a transmission to go in it and I'm going to fit it, but I've got nowhere else to put this truck. And if you look, it's hard to show it on the camera, but the angle on this driveway is quite steep, so the back end of the truck sits quite low. The plan is to raise it up so that I've got enough room to roll around underneath it and manhandle a transmission into it and out of it. So the way that we're going to do that sturdily is with a set of wooden wheel cribs. Now, wooden wheel cribs are brilliant because on a driveway like this we can adjust it so that the truck sits relatively level, and it's also nice and stable, gives us a large footprint, which is far better than doing it on axle stands. So when you're rolling around underneath it on axle stands and you hear a noise, your heart goes into your mouth. Plus, when you're carrying a little bit more timber like I am, it's nice to have a bit of room to move around underneath it. So we'll get a set of those knocked up. So this is what we're looking at for the end product. It's made of 4x2 timber, or actually 45mm by 95mm timber, because we're in the UK and we have the metric system, but it's roughly the same. It's cut for my particular purposes because I'm lifting a vehicle with 31-inch tyres on. It is 1 foot wide, or 12 inches wide by 18 inches long, and it sits approximately 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, approximately a foot tall. I'm going to make a couple that are slightly taller to go on the back because of the slope on the driveway. And the timber that we're using is pressure treated. I got this from B&Q because there's a B&Q close to where I live. It's probably cheaper if I go to a timber merchant. This is 2.4 metres long, just less than 8 foot, and it was just under £7 a length. So all in for the 4, I think I'm into it for about £50, £55 worth of timber, and a box of screws as well. The screws that we're using are decking screws. Using decking screws because they are coated against corrosion. They're also a coarser thread, which means that hopefully they go in without pre-drilling. It just makes the job a little bit faster. So we need to set up the saw and get marking up and cutting. For each one of these cribs we need 6 pieces that are 18 inches long and 6 pieces that are 12 inches long. So we're going to mark up the timber and cut it with a chop saw. You can cut it with a reciprocating saw or a hand saw if you've got the time. I've got one of these and it makes things nice and quick. I find it easier once I've cut one piece that's the right length. In this case it's the 18-inch one, that I can use the piece that I've already cut to mark the timber. It's just quicker than messing around with the tape measure. here. Gonna get our decking screws. No need to pre-drill. I'm using the edge of my step into the workshop to keep everything level. And I'm using my impact screwdriver to screw everything together. So this should go together quite well. And there we have all 4 cribs made. We just need to get the Chevy up on them now. And that's that. The more astute of you will notice that I had to make the cribs a little bit shorter, largely because I massively overestimated the capability of my jack, and also it was just going to be too high, I think, to reach up and work on the transmission. As you can see now, we've got plenty of room underneath to roll underneath there and work on the transmission, drop the transmission down, and it's nice and solid on the cribs. I actually didn't need to buy the last 4 pieces of lumber that I did, so all in all, to get it lifted up here, it's cost around about 50 quid, and that's going to be nice and stable to work on now. Hope that's helped. If you've liked the video, there's a button just for that. Maybe even consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.